chapel and we're gonna get married. Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. Gee, I really love you and we're gonna get married. Going to the chapel of love. Spring is here, the sky is blue. Whoa, birds are singing, let's give and new. Today's the day we'll say I do, and we'll never be lonely anymore. Because we're going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. Gee, I really love you and we're gonna get married. Going to the chapel of love. Bells will ring, the sun will shine. Whoa, I'll be his.
Would you all please stand? Who gives Lindsay today? To this man, Tom, for the purpose of marriage. Please be seated. You guys ready? On behalf of Tom and Lindsay, welcome and thank you for coming to share their special day. So when Lindsay first started talking about her future husband, it's a lot. He had to have a height requirement. He had to have an accent. There was a laundry list of things, and to be able to put up with her incredibly, amazingly difficult sometimes personality. First thing my thought was like, good luck, Lindsay. Because that's a lot. So when you have somebody and you have your laundry list of things that you want in somebody, you don't get to pick all of them at the beginning. You usually say, I really want this, this, and that. And then you meet somebody and it kind of molds into the person that you fell in love with. So then I met Tom. And we all met Tom. Well, he met the height requirement. That was the first thing. And he's got a sexy accent, doesn't he? So I was like, all right, we're doing pretty good so far. And then he sends us a video of him in his underwear, calling himself the Tickler. That right then, I knew this was a man for this woman, because they are two peas in a pod. They have an awesome sense of humor, and I'm just so happy. And that's when I knew you were meant to be together. It was true love. 1 Corinthians says, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. Today, that love brought us here together. Will you please face me? Tom. Tom, do you take Lindsay today to be your lawfully wedded wife, to have and to hold, from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, with a no return policy, even with a receipt, through her good days and bad days, for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Lindsay, do you take Tom today to be your lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold, from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, with or without a green card, and to hold him tight even if immigration is looking for him, for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Go ahead and face each other. Tom, will you repeat after me? I, Tom, take you, Lindsay,
I, Tom, take you, Lindsay,
to be my lawfully wedded wife,
to be my lawfully wedded wife,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better or for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer or for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
for as long as we both shall live.
for as long as we both shall live.
Now your turn. I, Lindsay, take you, Tom,
I, Lindsay, take you, Tom,
to be my husband,
to be my husband,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poor,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
for as long as we both shall live.
for as long as we both shall live.
What do you bring today as a token of your love for each other?
A
A ring.
We have those, right? Okay, there you go. Tom, place this ring on Lindsay's finger and repeat after me. I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a sign of my love
as a sign of my love
and faithfulness to you.
and faithfulness to you.
This ring is a symbol
This ring is a symbol
of my commitment to you
of my commitment to you
for the rest of my God-given life.
for the rest of my God-given life.
Lindsay, please take this ring and repeat after me. I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a sign of my love
as a sign of my love
and faithfulness to you.
and faithfulness to you.
This ring is a symbol
This ring is a symbol
of my commitment to you
of my commitment to you
for the rest of my God-given life.
for the rest of my God-given life.
This is the best part, ladies and gentlemen. By the power vested in me by GetOrdained in under30minutes.com, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Tom, you may kiss your bride. For the very first time today, I'd like to introduce to you Mr. and Mrs. O'Nolan.
This will be an everlasting love. This will be the one I've waited for. This will be the first time anyone has loved me. Oh, I'm so glad you found me in time, and I'm so glad that you rectified my mind. This will be an everlasting love for me. We are family. I got all my sisters with me.
All right, now the moment you've all been waiting for. the bride and her man, Tom and Lindsay O'Nolan. All right, don't, hey, whoa. These people didn't come to see your behinds. They came to see you. So we're gonna go right in to the couple's first dance. Go ahead and set your drink down, Tom. I don't want you spilling all over that beautiful dress. You can take your dead animal off. It's faux. Fake, faux, I don't know. It's the dance floor is this way, ladies and gentlemen. Right over here.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you?
Wow. That was amazing. You guys did absolutely amazing. Lindsay, don't go anywhere. You're not going anywhere. Tom, we're going to borrow this young lady for just a minute. You can go. Yeah, don't go anywhere. Scott, your first dance with your daughter.
She's got a smile that it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories where everything was as fresh as the bright blue sky. Now and then when I see her face, she takes me away to that special place, and if I stay too long, I'd probably break down and cry.
Oh, Scott, I love your vest. Look at this. What a vest. All right, Scott's going to go ahead and give his speech.
Thank you, Nick. First, I want to thank everybody for coming. I know this was kind of almost like a shotgun wedding, but I promise you she's not pregnant. There were other issues. I've been asked 10 times that. Is she pregnant? No. Well, I don't think so. Let's just say that. No, but seriously, thanks everybody for coming. I know it's a Friday. A lot of you had to work. It was not much plan or time to plan. And of course, Tom's family had to come from Europe, so that was even more difficult, but they made it. And I'm sure, Tom and Lindsay appreciate it. Can you guys hear me back there? Okay. I'm sure Tom and Lindsay appreciate it, and I know I certainly do. So thank you very much. And to the world's greatest sister, Shawnee, I don't know where you're at. Where are you at? She's the one that did all the flowers on the tables and everything else. And, she has a really busy life. She's starting a new job. She's doing a business with flowers and everything else, but she squeezed us in, and I appreciate it, Shawnee. Thank you. And I know when normal weddings, you got like a year to plan, and you go to the place that you're having it, and you pay them, and they do everything. Something like this, when she decided she wanted to do this, I said, bingo, baby, I'm saving a fortune, right? But but I didn't realize what we were getting ourselves into. 3 weeks and doing all that, and there's so many little things you don't think about, but I just wanted to say to Nick and Chelsea, Nick and his wife Chelsea, they stepped up to the plate, man. I mean, they got 2 kids. They both play baseball. One plays football. They got full-time jobs, yet they were up into the nights for the last 3 weeks, and if it wasn't for them, there's no way this would have come together. So thank you. Now, for the last probably 29 years, I've been thinking about this very day. She told me if I didn't cry, she'd be pissed. She says, because you know I'm your favorite daughter. But it's not true, girls. I love you all the same. But for 29 years, I've been thinking about this day on, am I going to be sad because I'm losing a daughter? I'm going to be happy because it's the greatest day of her life. And in doing that, for the last 3 weeks, easy, I've been just full of emotions and thinking about memories. And, all the things that have happened over 29 years. Thinking about the day she was born, how beautiful she was perfect, and the look of her mother's eyes, her first steps, her first words, all the things we did together. I mean, her first day of school, I remember like they're all yesterday. I remember all the practices and softball games, all the practices, volleyball games, traveling all over the country. I remember all the rock and roll concerts. As you can tell, you probably never heard that song for the dance, right? Who plays rock and roll? Everybody plays country, not us. We love rock and roll, and if you name the band, we've probably seen it, right? And we know every word to every song. I remember all the Dodger games, going to Dodger games, probably the hundreds, if not thousands, of Dodger games we've watched, the playoffs, how excited we were. I'll get to that, believe me. How excited we were when they got to the World Series. How sad we were when they lost the World Series. And now for the last 2 weeks, how angry we've been that we found out the Astros cheated us in the World Series. Boo-hoo. Nah, but all the memories are just, they've been just building up and building up. But Lindsay, the one thing I know is that all the memories are what made her what she is today. And that's she's the most caring, loving person. She cares about everybody. But she always had something missing in her life. She always seemed to be like, I can't find anybody that I care about. She'll go out one time, he's too short, he's too tall. He talks too much, he doesn't talk enough. Always had an excuse, but she's going, I'm in my late 20s, I can't find anybody. And so that's when I said, Dad's coming to the rescue. I said, I'm going to give her some fatherly advice. So I said, you remember this. I said, Lindsay, quit being so goddamn picky. Right? That's the best I could do. I said, but nobody's perfect. Give them a chance. Maybe it'll work out. Now, you've all heard about Venus and Mars. You say one thing, women hear other. Well, her mother was there, and she said, what? Apparently, she translated my quit being so picky and to lower your standards. I don't know how she got that. So she decided to give her motherly advice. And she said, Lindsay, your dad's an idiot. She was probably right. But she said, Lindsay, you don't lower your standards for anybody. You wait. She goes, your knight in shining armor's out there. She said, you just have to wait. It may not come today, it may not come tomorrow, but he'll come. Did she not, Lindsay? Yep. Well, anybody that knows Lindsay and how she's been the last year she met Tom, it's obviously she listened to her mom and not me. And she found her knight in shining armor. Because I've never seen her so happy in my whole life. And that's all a dad can want, right? So, when Tom came, we started meeting Tom, I started thinking, boy, he's something special, But usually you get to meet your son-in-law and you got him over a year before things come around. So, but you don't get to see him too often because my daughter, she's got her own place. So in a normal relationship, you'll see him maybe once a week when you go to dinner, when you go to a ball game, when you go watch a rock band or something and you get to know him. But Tom's not a normal man. Okay, I'm telling you, he goes out of his way to be a part of this family. I mean, I sit out here all the time with my grandkids. All the neighbors know that. We sit out here, and Tom comes over like 2-3 times a week, pulls up. I go, what's he doing here? He gets out and he goes, hey, I just have some free time. He comes out here, he's out skateboarding, riding the scooters with Liam, driving around here. He's here for 2 or 3 hours. He says, hey, you want to go to lunch? And 2 days later, he's coming up, hey, you want to go to lunch? So, they've only been together for a year, so it hasn't been a long time I know him, but I feel like I've known him for years because I've seen him more than you do normally for a year. So, and one thing I've learned from Tom is he's just like Lindsay. He's got a heart of gold, and he cares about everybody, and most of all, he loves my daughter. So when it came time, Tom comes over and he asked for her hand in marriage. It was simple, actually, for me. I didn't have to think about it because I already know how much they're in love, and I knew Lindsay's like me, hard-headed, and she ain't about to. If I did say no, it wouldn't change anything anyway. But little did, so I said, of course, Tom, you're like a son to me already. But little did Tom know that Lindsay had already bought him a ring, and she was going to engage or ask him to marry her on leap year. And that's the honest God truth. She had this engagement, or this asking him to marry her, all planned out. She was going to have a cop from Garden Grove. Of course, she knows a bunch of them. She's going to have him pull him over and start messing with him about immigration, and then she was going to come up and say today. I guess tell her, hey, I'll marry you. You can stay. So they had it all. He had it all planned. It was going to happen anyway. So, but anyway, guys, seriously, I couldn't be happier. I love you guys. You make such a beautiful couple, and I'm so happy, and we're so proud. And I just want to say to Tom's dad, his mom, his stepmom, and all his brothers, that Marie and I'd like to welcome you to our family, and as our new family from Europe says, cheers. Love you. Thank you.
Awesome job, Scott. Thank you so much. We're going to roll right into dinner. Don't get greedy, people. We're going to start off with these front tables here. So all the wedding party and families of wedding party, go ahead. It's going to be buffet style up in the driveway. Please use both sides and bring your plates that are on the table. So it looks like everybody's seated. I'd like to propose a toast to the bride and groom. So if you have a drink, please raise your drink. If you don't have a drink, you can go ahead and go home because you're not part of this crew. We're a drinking crew here. Bobby Ladd, thank you, sir. To the bride and groom, Tom and Lindsay, we love you. Cheers to you guys. All right, Tom, are you ready? All right, Tom's going to come up and speak. Can I get the translator to come up here, please, so the rest of us people can understand what he's about to say? Because half the time, I have a hard time, and I feel like a complete idiot going, wait, say that again? I'm deaf in my one ear. Tom, God, you look sexy in that uniform. I really wasn't for men in uniform, but wowzers. Here's Tom, everybody. Give him a round of applause.
Thanks, Nick. And Nick, you and Chelsea have just made this thing happen. So I'm probably going to thank you a couple of times in this. But right again, you guys have made this happen in a really short space of time. Anyway, I hope you're ready for a long speech because this is pretty much the last time I get to speak for myself without asking my wife for permission first. So, so I'm going to take full advantage of that. I hope you've got a drink. I'll probably be about 25 minutes. So, strap in. No, I won't. I want you guys to get to the bar. So, I'm not going to be long. So usually at the weddings I've been to, the groom stands up. This is like English weddings that I go to. And they thank their mother-in-law profusely for organising a great wedding with only 12 months notice and $100,000 budget, which I always find pretty funny. Clearly, none of these people have met Chelsea Jensen. Where is Chelsea? For those of you that haven't seen the video of me proposing, I only sent it to a few friends and family. I was still crying, and Chelsea came downstairs and said, right, we've got a dress appointment for Lindsay, 2 p.m. tomorrow, Costa Mesa. She was on it within about 6 minutes. So, And 3 weeks later, we are man and wife. So, thank you to Chelsea and Nick in particular. Just made this happen so quickly. Luckily, Scott didn't need to be at the appointment because the next day was the Super Bowl. So we all know that there's no way that Scott would have missed the Super Bowl, even for something to do with his daughter's wedding. But gladly, it was a ladies only appointment, so that was good. So, really, first and foremost, on behalf of my wife and I want to thank you all for coming. To be honest, it's a shame we didn't get married a couple of months ago, because I had a really bad case of food poisoning, and I lost about 6 pounds and 2.5 chins. So I'm kind of annoyed we didn't get married at the end of January, but yeah, can't have everything, can you? Thank you. Another big thank you to Scott and Marie for hosting us. I mean, to set the perspective, Lindsay didn't want to have a big wedding. She wanted to go to a courthouse with a couple of family members. So we had to negotiate her up I'm obviously doing something wrong. We had to negotiate her up to a big party hosted at the house. So Scott and Marie, you guys are awesome. I see Scott at the back there. There you are. This is exactly what I wanted in a wedding. I didn't want anything huge. I just wanted to have friends and family, a load of food, a load of booze, and everyone having a good time. It is a bit quiet so far, so guys, feel free to drink more. We've got a lot of alcohol, and we don't really want to take it back. So I want to thank my family and some of my closest friends who are here today. Obviously, everyone had to travel over from the UK, so it's a bit more difficult than driving a couple of hours, for example. So thank you, everyone. And it's good to have friends and family around you when you're preparing for a life sentence. So thanks again. I want to thank my best men. In the interest of time and not being between you reprobates and the bar, only Ben is going to speak. But Ben, Tim, and Chris, you guys should probably stand up so people know who you are. Ben looks like me, so that's pretty easy. Chris is in uniform, so that's also easy. And Tim's the one that doesn't look like me and isn't in uniform. So you guys are awesome. Please just go up and say hi to them. They're all very approachable, friendly guys. So. They're not gonna. They don't bite unless you pay them. Ben is my twin brother. We've known each other all our lives, clearly. Tim and Chris, my two best friends. Only known Chris a couple of years. Tim, I've known you 20 years or so. I think we beat you at tennis when we were about 11 or 12, and then we ended up at the same school after that. So. There's clearly no hard feelings as you're here today. I'm really proud to have you guys here today, groomsmen. It's been a bit of an emotional week. They flew in a couple of days ago, so everyone's jet-lagged, tired, really hungover. You guys are awesome and glad to have you here. And also my younger brothers, Jack and Charlie. Have you here this weekend. The night out we had in Costa Mesa last night was honestly the best night I've had in a long time. Oh, that. Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. Fine. Thanks. But it combined two things that I really love and have come to be a big part of my life. Southern California, lived here almost a year and a half now. And my close friends and family. And it's difficult when you move somewhere. It's not quite so easy for people to come and visit you. So this is an awesome occasion to have everyone here and just love this week. We probably shouldn't have stayed out so late because I got a few texts this morning. Apparently we were running late to help out with setting up the wedding. I also had the bridesmaids. Where are all the bridesmaids? You guys all look awesome, but I heard that you had to carry tables after you had your hair and makeup done, so feel free to see Ben, Tim and Chris about some compensation. I don't have a job, so I'm not going to pay you anything, but they will for that. But yeah, very sorry about that. These things happen, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to. I'm not going to be allowed to forget that for the rest of my life. So Thanks, guys. I also want to raise a glass not just to people that I know, but to anyone that couldn't be here today. So that's people who couldn't make it, any other absent friends. A very good friend of mine, Max, is serving out in Iraq at the moment with the Americans. So really sad I couldn't have him here, but just want to raise a glass to absent friends. Sorry, I keep walking. He told me to sit in the middle, but yeah, I don't listen to instruction very well. Sorry, Nick. Moving overseas is a really tough thing to do, and it's much more difficult than when you plan it. You know, a couple of years ago, I visited Southern California, really loved it, thought it was a great place, and as it happened, a few months after that, one of the guys that ran the American business for my company asked me if I wanted to come and work over in the US. He said, you can live where you want, you just have to be remote and travel. So I went for it. It sounded great idea, sounded really easy. I'm just going to move over here, everything's going to be fine. But it's a lot harder than that, you know, getting over here, making friends, meeting people, getting some sort of social life, all the rest of it, getting a routine going. But when you meet someone amazing, which in my case is now my wife, and also when you're taken in by their family, it doesn't really feel difficult at all. And for the last year, since I met Lindsay, this place has really felt like home, not just somewhere I enjoyed living in. You guys, the whole family, have made me feel not just, I don't feel just like a boyfriend or a husband. I really feel like you've kind of had me, brought me into family as one of your own, and I'm really grateful for that, because it makes that kind of process of moving somewhere much easier. So as a result, America, and in particular Orange County, it feels like home to me. So I'm very grateful for that. America, like Britain, is an awesome country. Has its flaws, but great place to live. I still feel very lucky to have moved here. It's not an insignificant thing moving to America. It's quite a difficult process with work and visas and things like that. You guys are pretty picky about who you let in, so so I still feel pretty lucky to have just got here in the first place, but also to be a part of an amazing family. And the American people in general are just the most welcoming people. And I'm not just talking about Lindsay's family and the people here. There's nowhere else really in the world where you could be in a bar having a drink by yourself. And this has happened to me a number of times. And someone will hear your accent as you're ordering your drink, and they will talk to you with such an interest and enthusiasm about where you're from, what you do, how did you end up in America. Keep it down, Liam. You're on camera, dude, as well. So, the American people are just, as I say, so enthusiastic, so friendly. We share a very special relationship, as two nations, I could be happy to be out here. Enough of that. I'm going to tell you how Lindsay and I met. Obviously, it was at church. I'm actually not surprised she swiped right on my my online dating profile. I'm not one really for a lot of kind of wit and banter, but I personally thought that Oxford Dictionary in the streets, Urban Dictionary in the sheets was quite clever, and obviously also true. I'm here all night. It's my wedding. Lindsay actually organised our first date in typical fashion. She's a very good organiser. She's very good at finding random deals, whether it's happy hours, what have you, trivia nights. We met at Social in Costa Mesa. I'm sure most of you who are from around here have been there. Great restaurant. First thing I noticed was her amazing energy. She seemed excited, interested. She made me laugh straight away by trying to take the mickey out of something to do with Britain. It turns out, though, that in the car with her sister Carly and one of their best friends, Caitlin, while I was waiting in the restaurant for her, she was about 10 minutes late, which I made a note of because I remember it now. I know I'm boring. They were taking fireball shots in the car while I was waiting on my own at the bar in Social, trying to talk to hipsters, which was difficult. So yeah, that was good of them. She then, I think she prejudged me because of my accent, and I'm not as posh as I sound. My parents spent a lot of money getting me this accent, so I'm grateful for that as well. And she said, okay, I'm going to take you to the kind of place that me and my friends go, and I'm going to see how you like it. And I said, well, I was a student once. I've been to not so smart places. So anyway, the Goat Hall Tavern. Anyone know that? Yeah, yeah. It's a classy first date spot. And also the reason we were late, so that's kind of your fault actually. The reason we were late this morning because we had to go to Tavern last night. And I did a Facebook post which I need to update now, and I said this is going to go one of two ways because I obviously immediately assessed the place, and what I meant by that was I'm either going to go home after one drink or I'm going to go home pretty wasted. I mean it went pretty well because we're getting married today, or we are married. When I left, I was oddly nervous, and I gave her, I think she'll agree, it was probably the lightest kiss in the history of man. It was part kiss, part run away. I wasn't trying to get away from her, but I didn't know how, whether you kissed on the first date over here or not. But I liked her, so I wanted to make an effort. She still gives me grief about it to this day, and I'm sure that will go on. Lindsay didn't know this at the time, but I was pretty much ready to move back to the UK last summer. I'd come over for a job. It wasn't quite the job that I interviewed to come over with. My manager had changed. I wasn't very, very happy in my job. That's a British way of saying I was hating my job. And when I met her, I'd pretty much given up on dating American girls. I'd had a few interesting or forgettable experiences in my first 6 months here. So I just thought that let's give it a go. She seems a great girl, and aren't I lucky I did? Because we're here today. Which honestly, a year and 6 months ago, I would not have said I'd be here getting married. But it feels it feels so right and so great that I can't describe it. I'm happy. That's it. I realised before long that I'd kind of found the missing piece to my puzzle. That sounds really cheesy, but that's the best way I can describe it. Lindsay's natural beauty, her kindness, and her ability to make people feel special. They still inspire me to this day. It was no surprise for me to learn that she's essentially a superstar teacher. She's given the most challenging special needs children in her school district to look after and to, in some cases getting them to communicate. This is, it's no shock to me. It's no shock to anyone that's met her. I feel unbelievably safe when I'm with Lindsay. I feel like I can tell her anything, any of my kind of worries and fears. She's an incredibly good and empathetic communicator, and really that's why we're here today. Everyone that knows Lindsay knows that she's a giver. She adds to every situation. She's one of those people that comes in with love, friendliness. She tries to make those around her feel good. She's an awesome person. And for those of my guys that maybe don't know her very well, I know most of you know her pretty well. Please do just go up and get to know her. I'm so glad I did. Wow. I told my guys that I was, the crying that was in the engagement video, that was it. But clearly not. One of them's won some money tonight. I'm not sure which one. There we go. But this made me want to give Lindsay the boyfriend and then the husband that she deserves. Given that she treats me so well, I can only hope that she feels I do the same for her, and that she's looked after well by me. We went camping with Aunt Shawnee and Uncle John In Pendleton, it was the end of November, start of December, I think. It was really warm, which obviously made it really good. And at that point, I made up my mind at the end of that weekend that we were going to get married, really come what may. The only thing that needed to happen was for her to say yes, and for us to do the planning. I didn't want to propose without her meeting all of my family, so we'd already arranged a trip to the UK, and I chatted to Nick, who kept a very good secret after Pendleton, and said, look, I'm thinking about doing this. Can you give me some tips? I don't know anything about diamonds, for example. Came back from the UK in January and spoke to Scott. We had just the most amazing evening on New Year's Eve under the castle in Edinburgh, which is one of the biggest New Year's celebrations globally. We danced the Ceilidh, which for any of you who don't know is Scottish kind of Highland dancing. As the fireworks are going off, that was just awesome night. I mean, we've had so many awesome nights, but it was at that point I just felt like I was with the right person at the right time in the right place, and this was kind of inevitable to me. Anyway, this sounds like a bit of a fairy tale, so I can hear you asking what's wrong with or maybe weird about Lindsay, because there are a few things that I've had to get used to since we've been together. Firstly, she told me when, not if, and this is quite early on in our relationship, when, not if we live together. The first thing she told me about living together wasn't, we're going to pick out furniture and so on. It was, I've seen you put pictures up on the wall, Tom, and when we live together, you're going to have to measure every single wall, and the middle of the picture is going to have to be in the middle of the wall every time. Well, it's too late now, isn't it? I'm married. She has some really weird eating preferences. I won't bore you too much with them, but she doesn't eat any seafood. I love sushi. So there was some negotiation to do there. As with most negotiations, certainly between a married couple, basically that means I don't eat sushi anymore. And she also doesn't like sauces or food groups touching on the plate. And when I gently, in a really British and diplomatic way, pointed out that all of those things mix when they go down your throat and into your stomach and what have you, she told me that wasn't the point, and that I was wrong. So clearly I was. She also, I found out a few weeks ago, she has no gag reflex. So I gave her this 40-hour bug a few weeks ago, and she basically couldn't be sick. She was over the toilet for about half an hour trying to be sick, and it was like something out of a horror movie. It was just all the noises but no vomit. You're welcome. So I'm here all night. I got a few claps. As I mentioned earlier, her and Scott know the lyrics to every song ever written, particularly rock songs. Her singing ability doesn't necessarily match her encyclopedic knowledge of rock songs, but she's eager to show off that ability, and she sings to me a lot, which is really cute. I love it. Just leave it to the pros a bit more often, please. I can say that now that we're married, can't I? It's going well. And we were watching a TV program a few months ago, and it was about a couple that got engaged after 5 years together. And I thought, 5 years, that's fine, it's pretty normal. She turned to me without any prompting. I hadn't said anything, and she just said, "I'm not waiting 5 years, Tom." There was some expletives in there, but I won't add them at this point. So at that point, I realised I had to make a decision, and that's why we're here today, because there was only one way that was going. We returned from Edinburgh, I think about the 6th of January, on the Sunday. Yeah, I'm trying to hurry up. This is way longer than I thought when I wrote it. Yeah. Really? Jeez. And I told Scott that I wanted to marry Lindsay. I asked him for his permission, and it was kind of weird because he was very positive. He said, "Yeah, of course." He said, "Well, I thought you were going to do it last week on New Year's Eve." I was like, "Okay, well, I wanted to ask you first," but yeah, that was a much easier conversation than I'd imagined. So I appreciate you for that, Scott, because I was pretty nervous. And for anyone who wants to see, I managed to do it in front of the Ring doorbell. So we have a video of me asking him for Lindsay's hand in marriage. And yeah, that wasn't deliberate. I can assure you. Where am I? Anyway, I'm almost done. Don't worry. Ring shopping, for anyone that hasn't done it, is easily the most harrowing shopping experience known to man. Shopping with your other half for shoes and stuff is nowhere comparison. You're already nervous because you know you're going to be spending a decent chunk of money, and they could say no. Then you have the courage to ask the father. He says yes, all going well. And then you start looking to diamonds, and you're confronted by hundreds of thousands of possible configurations, different size, different colour, different shape, different cut. Luckily, Lindsay had taken the liberty probably about 6 months ago of telling me what kind of ring she wanted, so I knew exactly what I was buying. That was good of her. Just a round diamond and a ring, that was easy. I found the ring that I wanted, and unfortunately it took 3 weeks to arrive, which was probably too long. But you know, better late than never. We're married now. I'm very glad you guys are here today. Scott, I don't want you to... Where is he? Oh, he's probably gone to the toilet. I don't know where Scott is. Anyway, I don't want Scott to feel like he's losing a daughter, rather gaining a son. And likewise for the rest of the family. I'm really the luckiest man alive to be marrying this girl. I appreciate it every day. I feel like I've got the perfect life. I've got the perfect woman, and the perfect family around me and her. This is my American dream, if you like. I've got a couple of toasts, and then I'm done. I promise. First toast is a woman who is so beautiful. She's regal, and she's very empowering to anyone that interacts with her. I would die for this woman, and I think about her every day. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you could raise your glasses to Elizabeth II, the Queen of England. To the Queen. Where's my glass? Here we are. To the Queen. I'm not going to be able to forget that one, am I? And most importantly, I want to toast my beautiful wife. I don't know what to say. You are my everything. I would do anything for you. And I'm just the happiest man today to have all of you guys here, to have all my family, my friends, Lindsay's family. And I just can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. It's going to be awesome. Cheers.
All right. Woo! Now that we watched all Fast and Furious, all 19 of them, Tom, I got to say, welcome to the family. It's nice to have somebody else to help me unload the cars on all the family vacations. So, Tom, I love you. Thank you very much. We're going to take a quick break because I know half of you have to pee. I see a couple of people doing the pee-pee dance in the background. Where's the other beautiful man? There he is. It doesn't get much beautiful, more sexy. Beautifuler? Is that a word? Beautifuler? In UK, it's a word. Beautifuler. Then, what is this chicken scratch?
Yeah, right. It's code. That way nobody else can read it.
It's definitely in another language. But if you guys aren't sitting down, you're going to miss out. We're going to start with the next speech. We've got the beautiful Ben. All right, here you go, Ben.
Thanks very much, Nick. Everyone, I promise my speech won't be 25 minutes, as I actually wrote it in the plane yesterday. One of the benefits of a 12-hour flight. Got it nailed in a couple of hours, and also I really need to use the restroom. Anyway, first of all, I don't know how the speeches go in American weddings, but first I want to raise a glass, even though I don't have one, to Nick. He's been kind of the COO, obviously did the service amazingly. We did 2 run-throughs, and then the actual real thing went perfectly, I thought. So cheers, Nick. It's been amazingly Yeah, I definitely have a bit of that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So as I said, I'm delighted to be speaking here today to celebrate Tom marrying the lovely Lindsay. My first interaction with Lindsay was actually on a Facebook video call last summer, I think about July time, June time. I was partying with a friend. It was about 3 in the morning in the UK, in London, and about, I don't know, 7 in the evening here, and we just had a blast. We chatted for about 45 minutes, just laughing away, and like, yeah. So that was awesome, and also, I mean, it demonstrates, you know, the wonders of technology these days and how it can bring people together. And obviously, technology can play a fairly key part to this speech, as it's the industry me and my brother work in, and obviously without online dating apps, Tom and Lindsay never would have met. Never would have met, and he wouldn't have been living in America this last couple of years. So Tom, like most men, began as a fairly low-tech lad with fairly low-tech maturity and pretty low-tech girlfriends. We were born a minute apart in a race that I won, and we've been competing in pretty much all aspects of life since then. As kids, we had a great childhood, charmed, family full of love, four boys who wrecked my mum's body. Apologies for that. Very loving, successful parents who provide us with everything we needed, and it's really, really heartwarming to see that Lindsay grew up in the same environment, and it's absolutely no surprise that these guys have got together and hit it off. Yeah, as it is no surprise it goes from love is so easygoing, generous, fun, and beautiful. I am surprised by the beautiful part, because as you can probably see, I got all of the good looks between the pair of us. The fact that we're identical is completely irrelevant to that and not related. I will concede that Tom was more blessed than me in one way of life, but I'll say no more on that topic, as I'm aware that Abuela is here. Moving on. Growing up as a twin is an amazing experience. In our case, you have a best friend throughout your childhood, somebody to play tennis, football, rugby with, somebody to ski with, somebody to constantly remind you of your many errors in life, somebody to protect you if needed, and when in bad company, which frequently happens with me and Tom. Not that we're in bad company, that sounded wrong. Just to, apologies, I'll turn this over. Just to share the thoughts of, geez, what an idiot that guy was, because that happened a lot, which was funny. We seem to form the same opinions of everyone. There's nobody I like that he doesn't. There's nobody he likes that I don't. And we're very, very close and very, very similar in a lot of ways. Anyway, a few memories stick out as kids. We played a lot of sports together. That was a huge thing for us. Tennis, you know, and a couple of great memories in my childhood was when we kind of got together and just kicked ass, basically. One against our arch rival schools when we were playing cricket, which is kind of like your baseball, I guess, an English version of baseball. And we hit a ton of runs together, pretty much finished off the match. I screwed up and left Tom to just about bring it home and became a bit of a hero in the process. In one rugby match, I was tackled late by somebody, and in the next play, Tom's protective instinct kicked in, and he quite brutally stamped on the guy in the chest, leaving him winded for over an hour. When, as we were leaving the school, we saw the guy still doubled up, and his girlfriend screamed at us something. I believe she screamed, "He'll effing have you next time." And yeah, it's not all positive though. We fight to nuclear levels frequently, which Lindsay had a brief experience of in Santa Barbara. We sling super harsh words, threats to each other, etc. Until suddenly then it clicks and we're best friends and, like, you know, hugging them, whatever, best buddies, which our friends find super weird. Super weird. And anyway, during one particularly competitive basketball game, Tom threw the ball at my face, causing my front tooth to die, go black, rot, and got replaced by a shiny new number. I naturally went pretty mad, chased him around the tennis court and hit quite a few balls at him. All good-natured stuff. Another time, Tom was very drunk in Dublin, decided to whisper to a bunch of kind of unsavoury characters. I think he called them "what a bunch of knackers," which basically kind of means you're rednecks in Irish speak. To which a fight kicked off. I jumped in to protect him this time, and got a load of smacks to my face for my efforts, for my troubles, for my valour. And shortly after that, he actually joined the Army Reserves, and I'm pretty sure that it was a protective instinct thing that kicked in, and yeah, he felt super bad. I can honestly say that. Anyway, where am I? Sorry, I'm reading this off. I haven't got it memorized. This is terrible. However, I've definitely screwed over Tom quite a few times in life as well. Obviously, looking like Tom has its benefits. One time, which I'm not too proud about, I was pulled over by the police for a DUI, but I was a very small amount over the limit. However, I wasn't insured in the car, so I thought I'll get back to the station. I'll be fine. I'll pass the test in the station. I'll get led away. So I gave him Tom's name. I got arrested as Tom. I don't know if my mum actually knows this story, but anyway, I think we kept that fairly hidden. So I got arrested as Tom, processed as Tom, and released as Tom, and had a court date 4 days later as Tom, which was funny for a couple of hours. He actually found it hilarious because he knew that I had to go and have the super awkward conversation with, in the police department the next day, which, yeah, I'm sure you can imagine. And yeah, as mentioned, Tom and I are naturally very similar, but also very different. At 17, he really kind of matured at college, got on with it, matured at school, got to college, got on with it. I took a slight detour, arrived a year or so later, albeit with better grades. We ended up at the same university, where he got stuck into lots of sports, stuck into a few parties and very few girls. His nickname in our tennis club was Shanta, which stands for shit banter, pardon my language, Grandma. As some of his chat is absolutely atrocious, as Chris and Tim will definitely attest to. We perhaps linked to the fact that he failed to get the grades to study the language course that I did, which he wanted to. Anyway, he ran the skiing club, massive passion of his, still pursues to this day. We ski all the time, we love it. We both ran the tennis club the following year, which is a great success. And he introduced me to loads of cool people, etc., vice versa. And we were super strong friends and still are. Despite being no womanizer, he did have a brief dalliance with my old housemate when I lived in Paris. She had a boyfriend, so it's made some pretty funny moments when they were both at my place. Pretty interesting moments when the boyfriend was around, and super hilarious moments when all three of them were there. For me, at least. Anyway, upon leaving college, Tom got stuck into working life with vigour. He's a great salesman, started to earn some cash. Him and Tim were the guys who were kind of working whilst we were still messing around trying to get through school. Incredibly generous, just looked after us the whole time, supported us. I wouldn't have had half the holidays I had were it not for Tom and Tim when I was younger. Anyway, the roles are reversed a bit now because I'm employed and busy, and Tom is quite the opposite. Tom being generous and supportive, however, is something that's not changed. Every time I've been looking for work, he spent hours coaching me, helping me, preparing me, and I wouldn't be doing what I am now if it wasn't for him. I can honestly say that. Right, I need to move it on. And I would have had far fewer skiing holidays when I was poor. Anyway, Tom's continued success gained him a promotion to a senior role in Oracle, where he was working, and he got his move to the States. That was something he really dreamed about for 3 or 4 years. And he was just delighted when he got over. But as he explained, last summer wasn't too sure about the job, and I can say that I was honestly the proudest guy when he got his move over, bragging to everybody who would listen. And yeah, I can honestly say since day one with Lindsay, Tom's been incredibly happy, absolutely sure that this girl could be the one. He said that within about a week, I think, maybe after the first date. And as a result, he's really enjoyed life more than I've ever seen. He constantly tells me how welcomed he has been into the family. Liam and Noah as well. He told me about 6 times before I got out here talking about Liam and Noah and driving around their electric cars and stuff like that, and how he just absolutely loves his family and has fallen in love with them. And I can completely understand that, having done so myself. I was lucky enough to meet the family actually. I was here a couple of weeks ago on a work thing. And within minutes Scott was showing me the Raiders Cave. We're joking around, telling me about his experiences as a cop, as an undercover, and life in general. And I just got it. He's I can understand why he's fallen in love with these guys, and I'm delighted for him. Anyway, I'm nearly done. About 30 seconds. So anyway, I'd like to raise a glass to Scott and Marie for helping make my brother incredibly happy, and Lindsay, of course. Sorry, but. Incredibly happy for raising such an amazing girl in Lindsay, and more importantly for using his diplomacy to ensure that this party won't get closed down early tonight. So cheers to Scott and everyone. Scott, Marie, and family. And I'm aware we have one special guest tonight, or very special guest tonight, which is Abuela. So for Abuela, I've got a message for you, if you can hear me. Es con mucho gusto que estoy aquí para esta boda contigo. Mi hermano le quiere mucho a Lindsay. Estoy seguro que tengan una vida junta llena de felicidad, con mucho respeto, amor y muchos pequeños. And I've got far less politically correct stories about Tom, so if you'd like to find me at the bar later, I'll be happy to share. Thank you.
I lied to you guys. It was going to be that long. I'm so sorry. I love him. Beautiful Ben. That was a great speech. Thank you so much. Next, I'd like to bring up my beautiful wife, who's also Lindsay's sister and the maid of honor, Chelsea.
Oh, God. Okay. Good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Lindsay's older sister, Chelsea. Me and Lindsay have been best friends for our for our entire lives. Although I don't know why she put up with me when we were younger, because I was absolutely awful to her growing up. We would play pretend wedding all the time, and every single time I got to be the bride. And I would force Lindsay to be the groom. I could have let her be a bridesmaid or a flower girl, but no. I forced her to slick back her hair into a low ponytail, wear a suit, and be the groom every single time. So this is the first time Lindsay's actually gotten to be the bride, and I'm a little shocked that she didn't force me to wear a suit as revenge. Lindsay's always been extremely picky when it comes to guys. She would always find something wrong with them whenever we tried to set her up with anyone. I just remember being so frustrated with her for never giving anyone a chance. We told her she was going to end up as a cat lady someday if she didn't lower her standards. And now looking back, I'm so happy she didn't listen to us. Tom, I'm so thankful you came into our lives. I've never seen my sister so happy. You fit perfectly into our family, and my kids absolutely adore you. I'm so happy for you both. Congratulations, and I love you so much.
That was awesome. Tom and Lindsay, I need you guys to come on up here real quick. There's a lot of people in this room, a lot of people I know, sprinkle a handful of you that I don't know, but I probably know you by the end of it. If you come on the dance floor and I'm shaking my butt, then I'll get to know you. My wife already knows I'm a dancer, so it's safe. It's safe. If you've known Tom or Lindsay for 15 years or more, please come up here and join them. I want to show them how much love they have in this group. If you've known them for 15 years or more, yeah, all you clowns back there, get your ass up and hurry up over here. Parents, please join us as well. That was not for you.
Bobby lad, I know you're out there.
Bobby lad. Bobby lad. I'm terrible at singing, folks. Please don't. Where's Bob Ladd? Is he pooping? Bob, get your ass up over here. City of Compton. This right here, look at this. This is 15 years or more. This is 15 years or more. These are people that have known you for the majority of your life, Lindsay, or Tom. Because you guys are young. 15 years is a lot. That's when you really grow. This is the people who love you the most. They've known you, they've grown with you, and now they're going to dance with you. Time to dance, baby. Come on, 15 years. Didn't get you anywhere. Let's go. You got up out your seats.
This is that ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpieces. Stylin', wildin'.
If you've known them for any amount of time or you feel like shaking your booty, come on up here.
hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh! Stop. Wait a minute. Fill my cup, put some nigga in it. Take a sip, sign the check. Julio, get the stretch. Right to Harlem, Hollywood, Jackson, Mississippi. If we show up, we gon' show out. Smoother than a fresh drop. Skip it. I'm too hot. Call the police and the firemen. I'm too hot. Make a dragon.
And the world turning inside out, yeah. Floating around in ecstasy. So don't stop me now. Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time, having a good time. A shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car passing by like Lady Godiva. I'm gonna go, go, go. There's no stopping me. I'm burning through the sky, yeah. 200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light. I wanna make a supersonic man out of you. Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. If you wanna have a good time, just give me a call. Don't stop me now. 'Cause I'm having a good time. Don't stop me now.
I need your ass on the dance floor because we're gonna do the bouquet toss. Single ladies, you are not married. If you're engaged and your husband or they're your future fiance, he's the one. Right here, look at bingo. All right, I need all the single ladies on the dance floor. Chelsea, do you have her bouquet? I need all the single ladies. This song is dedicated because Tom doesn't work and Lindsay's working it for everybody. Lindsay's holding it down, but you know what? Is that Doug? You are not a single lady. Doug Woodward, get off the dance floor. You're not a single lady. You're sexy, but not a single lady.
My money's on Nicole or Erin.
All right. Do I have all the single ladies out here? Do I have all the single ladies out here?
Come on. I'm going out tonight.
Hold on, we need to practice. Can you give me like a practice throw, like a fake throw? I need these girls to get ready. Okay, on the count of 3. This is a fake throw. Okay? Maddie, I'm looking at you. No punches. Don't punch Lauren. Don't punch Carly. Okay, this is a practice. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Nikki, that's not enough motivation out of you. Nikki, I need a little more out of you. You're from Compton. Let's go. All right, ladies, are you ready? Who's going to be the next one to get engaged? Who's going to be the next one to get married? Here we go. On the count of 3. Help me count it out, folks. 1, 2, 3. Maddie Alvarado with the dub. Woo! Maddie, you got lucky there was balls hanging in the air because she hit the balls and it went right into your mouth. I mean your hand. I mean hand. I said hand. Sorry, Gilbert. All right, where are my single gentlemen? Ladies, You look beautiful, but please get your ass off the dance floor. I need Lindsay. Lindsay, where? Whoa. Lindsay. You sit down. You don't do work. All right. All the single gentlemen, all three of you. Sir, right here, you're beautiful. I know you're not married, or I need you right here. Because if you're lucky, you could be it. Okay, hold on. Whoa. Keep that down. We're just trying to get people out here. We're not into the dance yet. Tom, don't get freaky. The tickler is ready to get naughty. He's a naughty tickler, but we're not ready for the naughty tickler yet. Tom, would you keep your hands off her, please? It's not Tom yet. What do we got? Fucking 3 guys? Okay, guys, I need you over here like the women, right? The women did it correctly. I need you over here.
You're not married, count.
Yeah, if you're not married.
Even if you're in a relationship, you haven't locked it down.
Yeah, if you're dating somebody, you're engaged, I need you out here because this means you are next. So if you're not ready, get ready because it's about to happen. Is this it? Chili, get on the dance floor. All right, well, in the middle. Please. In the middle. I gotta talk so you can understand me. All right, I love you. You're sexy. Where the fuck is Gilbert? The guy, time out. Can I get a shout out for Gilbert? The only guy that wears shorts everywhere, and this is the first time in the history he's ever worn pants, and he's actually in a suit. Gilbert. He's a Trojans fan. He's wearing pants. Beautiful Ben. Ben, you want to get your mom wants to get rid of you next. Your mom wants you out next, so you gotta be right here in the front. Cheers, mate. Where's Gilbert? Holy fuck. Gilberto, venga aquí, por favor. Well, that's why I'm a white Mexican. I'm kind of a coconut too, so it kind of works itself out. All right, Christ. Why are the women so much more prepared than the men? Does that say something? The women are ready to get married and the guys are like, ducking out. There's 37 guys in the beer line right now. Okay, I think we got everybody. DJ, spin that shit. Hey, her parents are watching, Tom, so just be know. Time out. No hands. What? It's supposed to be teeth only, bro. What are you, new? Is this your first wedding? Holy mackerel. Teeth only, Bubba. Ladies and gentlemen, we got some 50 Shades of Grey type stuff going on down here. Whips and chains. Whoa. Hey, do you want the mic and run the show here, brother? You gotta give them a heads up. Can we get that back up here, please? We gotta replay that because Tom, in America, we wait until everyone's ready, and then we throw it to them. Go away. He hit somebody in the head, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try that again. All right, does somebody got it? Thank you, Chelsea. I appreciate it. Tom, okay, so let me show you this. Where this heart is, everyone see this heart? That's gonna be a ball gag in Tom's mouth later. Just so you know. This may or may not have been used last night. I don't know. That's why I'm 2 fingers only. Okay? Can we get a practice throw? Like, you gotta turn around. You can't hand it to somebody. I know you want your mom to get rid of your brother, but your twin. Wait, are you Tom or are you Ben? You guys have pulled jokes before. Tom or Ben? Are we sure? I saw you guys changing in the house. All right. I hope this is still Tom at the end of the night in the uniform. All right, let's get a practice. Okay, you gotta turn around. I don't want you cheating. Give me a practice. 1, 2, whatever. Practice. Yes, just like that. Gentlemen, are you ready? Which gentleman's ready to get married? Said nobody ever. Except Tom and me and the rest of us. Prison sentence begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit it! Nicholson!
Ready? Not the whole thing. Oh my god. We cut the whole cake, you idiot.
People gonna eat it.
We're cutting it.
Nick, those photos are not for.
You ready? Tom, we have to get it on the thing. Tom, we're gonna put it on the plate. Ready? This is not working.
I got, yeah, right, we're there now. You got it. Nice.
Alright, ready?
Each of you got a fork? Got, or, what do you want to do?
Tommy, messy bitch. Do not do somebody. Tama! This is my fur! I can't look it up now.
Wow. Now we go to check.
Oh, different way. Yes. Hey,
You're a falling star, you're the getaway car, you're the line in the sand when I go too far. You're the swimming pool on an August day, and you're the perfect thing to say. And you play it coy, but it's kinda cute. Oh, when you smile at me, you know exactly what you do. Baby, don't pretend that you don't know it's true, 'cause you can see it when I look at you. And in this crazy life, and through these crazy times, it's you, you make me sing your every line, your every word, your everything. You're a carousel, you're a wishing well, and you light me up when you ring my bell. You're a mystery, you're from outer space, you're every minute of my everyday. And I can't believe that I'm your man, and I get to kiss you, baby, just because I can. Whatever comes our way, I will see it through, and you know that's what our love can do. And in this crazy life, and through these crazy times, it's you, you make me sing your every line, your every word, your everything. And in this crazy life, and through these crazy times, it's you, you make me sing your every line, your every word, your everything. your every song, and I sing along, 'cause you're my everything. Yeah, yeah. So la 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 la. So la 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 la.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole